Hello everyone and welcome to DBF1. It is Season 8, round number 5. We are almost at the halfway mark. Next week at Madrid will be the halfway mark as Bavesser loses it through the first corner there. And that will be, he's on his in-lap though. Cam Kemam leading the way on provisional pole at the moment with a 5.571. A very quick lap from the man in third place in the Drivers' Championship. Not improving. He's got Deck on the front row with him. Lewis Craig has just gone third quickest with Scottish Goat in fourth. And then Daniel Pee on that, rounding out the top 5. Daniel could be on a lap as well, so we'll stick with Daniel to see if his split 2 time is indicating that he is on a quick lap. Not really. I think the driver's now just getting ready, so we'll stick with the man that won the last time, the last Grand Prix that we hear, season 7 winner, Kai. We'll see what his lap time can do. We'll quickly get the stream shared and we will go through the top 10 in the drivers' standings and the constructors as well. So yeah, Kai won the Grand Prix here last time out, last season. The season before that, it was Casper Klein. Then we had a bit of a break. In season 3, Hambo won the Austrian Grand Prix, and in the first time we raced in season 1 back on F1 2019, it was EFL F1 that won the Austrian Grand Prix. And the last 2 have thrown up dry conditions. The 2 previous were wet, so mixed bag. It could be either or tonight. We'll have to wait and see what the drivers let us know. If it's going to be a wet session, obviously, if it is dry, the top 5 will be stuck on whatever compound they set their quickest lap on in qualifying. But we'll run through the championship order quickly. It's Casper Klein in first place on 93 points. He has won 3 out of the 4 Grand Prix so far this season. Kai invalidated Jenga Boy on the mediums, looking fairly quick through the first sector. You got Bavesser on 55 in second, Cam Kemam in third, he's on 51. You got Cam Rules, an impressive season, but was poor last time out. He's wanting an improvement tonight on 47. Kai's on 40, Jenga Boy, the man on screen, 36. Tech Racing on 32. You got Jordan on 24, Daniel P. on 23, and New Zealand Cam on 21. Who is also here tonight, Cam F1 in 9th. He's behind his teammate in 8th, both the Alpine's reserve drivers. So thank you to James and Cam for helping us out tonight. As Jenga Boy sets the provisional pole time of a 1:52, and Cam Rules, who I mentioned had a poor outing last week, wanted to refine some form this week, and that he does. It's front row at the moment, but not quite provisional pole. Jenga Boy leads the way at the moment. Can anyone catch him? I think James is on a lap here. He's the next one to cross the line. He's finding a bit of time to put him around about Jessica Paul and Jake possibly in the Alpine. He's had one outing in Japan earlier on in the season in the Red Bull. What will it be for Alpine tonight? He finds 2.5 temps, but not enough to gain any positions. Kaya not finding any time. Evil Dragon, is he finding some time? Wait and see what his split 2 time is going to say. Yes, 8/10 of a second he's finding, so that puts him within the likes of Jake, his teammate, and Gamer James, possibly going to try split the 2. It'll be very hard to do so. The lap times very close together now. We're on board with the Aston Martin. This is where the money is made. Don't invalidate your lap. Set the provisional time the best you absolutely can. Evil Dragon, it is 9th place. It's ahead of his teammate. And at the end of the day, that's all you want to do, is beat your teammate before you beat anyone else. And that's a fantastic job from Evil Dragon. With just under 9 minutes to go in the session, Jake will have to go again and try set a lap time, as it looks like. Was that Cam? Yeah, 1 second up on his lap time at the moment through the first sector. New Zealand Cam on those medium compounded tyres, looking fairly quick through the first sector. Down the hill he goes now in 7th gear. Just moves up into 8th, not going full on the rev, trying to save some battery now in this second sector to use it in the third, in that Alpine for the longest time. We're one of the worst teams DBF1 ever had. That was until Kai last season absolutely changed that fact. He made that car so quick last season. Multiple Grand Prix wins, multiple pole positions, and well, if he was in the whole season, possibly could have contended for the championship. But it's all about Cam now. On his one night in the Alpine, he comes round the final corner here at Austria. Will it be provisional pole? Yes, it is, by about 0.2 of a second. What a lap time that is from Cam. Is anyone else improving? I think Cam Rose is improving. Does he? Yeah, he does. 2.5 tenths. That puts him closer to the top two. Jenga Boy just improved as well. Closed the gap on Cam. So the top two originally became second and third. They did improve their lap times, but not quite enough to get close to Cam. Is anyone else on a quick lap late round the track? Jake is on a quick lap. I think Jordan is sort of the furthest one round. That is on a lap here. Daniel is further, but I think he's starting his lap, or he's saving the battery, so he's not really pushing. We'll keep an eye on the left-hand side to see if Daniel P-Wheelnut's time does improve from a 6.170. We're watching the Haas of ERT Jordan. Won the Constructors' Championship in Season 5 of Haas, returned in Season 8, and is looking for a good result tonight. He's had some good results throughout the season, Jordan. Will it be a good qualifying for him? Only 14th quickest. Didn't find the time that he wanted. Jake was up next. Was he on a quick lap? He's not using the battery, and that's Deck maybe coming up to the line now. Doesn't find any time. Jessica Ball not finding any time. Acorn, he's just starting his lap. Cam not finding time. Everyone's struggling to find some pace. Daniel P. Wheelnut, he's just about on his PB. And we'll see what his split two time is. He going to find some time in the second sector? No, but he's on the brink. If he has a good final sector, he might be able to find a 10th or two, get into the fives, and that will be an improvement for him. He's in 9th place at the moment. Season 5 runner-up Daniel P. Wheelnut, two-time DBF1 Grand Prix race winner. He as well and truly cemented himself in that Ferrari seat. Will it be an improvement on time? Not quite 1,000th of a second, as Jenga Boy will not go any quicker. He doesn't believe he can start any quicker than that without going onto the soft compounded tyres, so it's mediums for him if he finishes in the top 5. Who else is on a lap here? Don't think. Well, we'll stick with Jess. I think she's going to be close. There's an Alpine of Gamer James just starting a lap. Cam retires from the session. 6 minutes to go. So the top two believe they are safe and can't improve without going onto the soft compounded tyres. Jessica Ball now on the soft to try and improve on position. It's P6. She's ahead of Lewis Craig. Not enough to get into the top 5. And that's probably what the Red Bull would have wanted. Finish 6th, get free tyre choice, and be best of the rest in the qualifying session. Daniel P. Wheelnut not finding time. Gamer James is, but I think Kai is further round. Yeah, he's on the run up to the line, goes Kai, and that's P3 on the medium compounded tyre, and that'll probably see the McLaren retiring from the session now. We'll go back to Gamer James. Lewis Craig is further around, but he's on an out lap. There is, I believe that's Jordan, is it? Yeah, we'll stick with Jordan's not using the battery, so we'll go back to James. We'll watch James through the final part of his lap. He's on board now. Through the final right-handers, using a bit of that boost, and he invalidates in the final corner. It's devastating for him, but that means we go to Lewis Craig now. We'll see what his whole lap will be, basically, bar the first couple of moments. Lewis Craig not finding time through the first sector, but it's not miserable. It's kind of on par with what he's been setting previously. He's gone on to the softs to try and follow Jess in suit. Get the quickest lap you possibly can and not be in the top 5. Get free tyre choice. And well, Lewis will have to take the risk that if he finishes in the top 5 to start in the softs. Austria. I've done a few Austrian Grand Prix, and I do believe it will be a 2-stop. No, most drivers won't be able to 1-stop around here. Tyre wear is extremely difficult to manage, and Lewis Craig now trying to position that McLaren on the 3rd row of the grid, and it being in 6th position. It's going to be very hard to do. What will it be on the run up to the line for Lewis Craig? Doesn't find any time. Cam K-Mam invalidated. Is Kai on a quick lap? He's finding time. He's purple in Sector 1. He needs about a tenth of a second to steal provisional pole. He's done 2 laps here on these mediums. It'll be some feat if he can sneak 2 pole positions in a row, with Casper Klein being at least 17th unless Ross can set a lap. It is on course for Cam to get his first pole position in DBF1 since, I think it's season 1 basically. Ross goes P6. It's a 5-6. Well done to the Williams driver. That is very quick. But Kai is setting purple Sector 1s and Sector 2s. If he can get a good final sector with no battery, it looks like it could be provisional pole for the McLaren. There's 3 minutes to go in the session, but the main rivals are all out. This is it for Kai. This is it. This is the lap. This is the money maker for Kai on the run up to the line. It's only P2. He lost time in that final sector. And Cam looks safe at the moment, unless Cam Rules, who's purple, can sneak a final sector of his life to get his first ever DBF1 pole position in the Cadillac. The new team on the grid. Can he steal pole away from Cam in the final moments of qualifying? No! Only P4. Daniel P. Wheelnut is on a lap. Is Bevesser on a... He's on a quick lap as well. He's improving on the mediums as well. This is it for him. He's not going to get another go at this. It needs to be perfect from the Mercedes driver. Got pole in the Japanese Grand Prix as Kai. Second place. Will that change into third? Bevesser on the run up to the line. Only 9th fastest for the championship man in P2. He's second in the championship standings. And yes, he's going to qualify ahead of Casper Klein, but that is not where you would have expected him to be. Daniel P. Wheelnut not finding time, but will get to go again. Evil Dragon not finding time. Jordan is finding time and is getting a little bit of a tow, but he's braking. That's it for him. The top 3 out the session now. Scottish Goat's gone deep. Lewis Craig's on his outlap. It looks like Professor's going again. Is Ross going again though? And he's finding time again, Ross. Can he get himself onto the front row or possibly the second row of the grid? But he's got no battery, just like Kieran on his run. That means he could only be second. What will it be for Ross? One of the team dive bomb drivers round the final corner in the Williams. What will it be? Will it be quicker than P6? P5. He's into the top 5. Camrul's not finding time in the first sector. Professor, that's it for him. 9th quickest. Scottish Goat not improving. Daniel not improving. Evil Dragon improving in the first sector. Really hard to track who's kind of... So there's Lewis. Then I think it's an Audi Cam who's starting their laps. Then it's the Ferrari of Daniel P. Wheelnut who is finding time. So Daniel, in this 30 seconds of madness coming your way, is invalidated. He was finding time, but he's out of qualifying. Who is next? Is it a Haas or a Cadillac? Yeah, it is Cam Rules. Is he going to find any more time to put him onto the front row of the grid? It's not looking likely for Cam. It looks like it's going to be 4th at best. Yeah, it is for him. Now, we've got the other Ferrari of Acorn finding time, P7 on the soft compound. Can he get himself up into the top 5? He served a race ban in Canada, and he's invalidated on the final corner. No improvement for him. I think it's Jessica Ball up next. Soft compound for her. She's had a poor season so far, and she's invalidated on the final corner. No one can handle the pressure here in DBF1. It's Scottish Goat not finding any time either at the moment. On the run up to the line for the Haas driver. Finds time, but not enough. Lewis Craig, 2.5 times up. Is this going to put him inside the top 5? The next main challenger, you'd imagine, on the grid. It's only P7. And on the soft compound, Lewis would probably be happy with that. Evil Dragon, 2 seconds. He's just invalidated. Cam Rules. He's 13 seconds down. That is your qualifying. It is Cam on pole position, folks. Kieran in P2. Jenga Boy in 3rd. Cam Rules in 4th. Bevesser somehow got up into 5th there. I was watching him and it said he was in 9th. I must have missed it when he jumped up into the top 5 Fantastic from Professor to get into the top 5. Kamke into P6 on the softs. That means that he gets free tyre choice. Ross gets free tyre choice. Lewis, Craig, Acorn, Jess, and everyone else on the softs all get free tyre choice. Fantastic qualifying session. And we're hearing on the McLaren team radio that Lewis Craig could have went quicker, but that was a precaution. They didn't want to have to start on the soft compound in the Grand Prix. And that was definitely smart from Lewis and the McLaren team. They've got a car in second and an eighth. And Lewis needs a good race. He's had a poor season. He's been unfortunate at some tracks, and then Saudi committed murder himself, but he needs to find some form. And we've ran through your grid already. Well, we've gone through the top 6. It's Ross in 7th, Lewis Craig 8th, Deck 9th, Jessica Ball rounds out the top 10, with Scottish Coat in 11th, Daniel B. at 12th, Jake 13th, Evil Dragon 14th, Gamer James 15th, Dark Shadow 16th, Jordan in 17th, Casper Klein didn't set a lap time. So, ignore the first part of the race. Everyone will retire. We will reset the lobby, get the grid all done up. There's no grid penalties to be applied. And then we'll get going for 36 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix. We will see you in a few. So we are back. We have had the green light from Lewis Craig to ready up. Drivers had enough time to do their strategies, get their fuel loads and setups all sorted, and we are getting ready to go. We have Cam on pole position. We have a new pole sitter again this season. I believe that's the fourth one we've had. So we had Casper on pole in Britain. We had Bavessa on pole in Japan. It was Casper in Saudi, and it was Kieran in Canada. So that's our fourth in 5 races, and we've had 2 winners in 4 races. Can it be 3 out of 5? We had 5 red lights on the grid. It is Kieran versus Cam off the line in Austria, and it's a lights out, and away we go. And Kieran's had a bit of a slide, and that might allow Jenga Boy to get down round the outside. Not quite. Kieran manages to hang on and is now on the offensive onto the Alpina. Cam not able to make up a move. Cam rules are trying to get past the Mercedes. They're side by side coming up the hill into turn number 3, but Jenga Boy manages to get away. Cam has to go deep, and he's hit the Cadillac in front. I believe we have a VSC on a safety car. Gamer James is out, and I'm not sure what's happened to Gamer James. We've got drivers moving all over the field. We do have a VSC, so hopefully the drivers sort themselves out. Kieran leads the way in the McLaren. You've got Cam in the Alpine in second. Jenga Boys hold on to third. Cam Rules, after being hit, is hanging on to fourth. Bavessa fifth. Ross on a good start in 6th place. Cam K, he moves down to 7th after hitting the Cadillac in front. Just outbroke himself, went off the track, and then just unfortunately came back on. Scottish Scope up into 8th. Lewis Craig's down into 9th. Acorn 10th. Chess Ball 11th. Daniel P. Whelan at 12th. Casper already up into 13th place. We'll quickly have a look at the position change. Casper up 5. Scottish Goat up 3. And everyone else seems to be down 1 or 2, bar Kieran out in front. So the top 11 on the medium compound tyre. You got Daniel P. Whelan on hard, Casper on the medium, and then the rest of the field on the hard compound tyre. And we are back underway, and Cam has got the jump here on the race leader. Kai into turn number 3 now, late on the brakes for the Alpine. He forces the McLaren wide, and that means that he has a bit of a moment, and that will allow Jenga Boy to be all over the back of Cam, coming down the hill into turn 5 now. 4 and 5. Round the outside, Jenga Boy will go. Season 7 runner-up. Can he get past? No, not able to do so. And Jess has been passed by Casper, and now Casper on the inside of Daniel P. Wheelnut, picking off places after starting in 18th place. He's got a lot of work to do if he's going to win this Grand Prix here in Austria tonight. And the drivers at the front of the field need to take advantage. He's basically got 2 race win victories ahead of the rest of the field, so he needs some big laps. And here we go, Jenga Boy on Cam into turn number 1. That could be a move for P2, but he's not able to do so, and that leaves Jenga Boy vulnerable to the 2 behind his teammate and Cam Rules. They have been battling all season long of Cam Rules and Bavessa. It looked like Cam Rules was going to win in Saudi, but 17 thousandths of a second meant that Bavessa is the only other race winner other than Casper this season. And Lewis Craig now fighting Ross for 7th and 8th place at the moment. The McLaren and the Williams down into turn number 5. Late on the brakes goes Lewis Craig, but Ross even later, they bang wheels. It wasn't anything too cynical, and Ross keeps the position, which Lewis probably would have had to yield anyway, and he's got to keep an eye on Scottish Goat for company behind us. Casper now in 10th place, starting to get up to the midfield drivers that could cause him a bit of issues if they can find some lap time, but Scottish Goat just seems to get out of the way, and that'll be obviously both drivers in the Dive Bomb esports team. That might have been a wee bit of synchronised swimming. Lewis Craig has gone very, very wide, and that might allow Casper to be right on the back of him and up into 8th place. Yes, it is. Casper Klein already up into 8th position after starting in 18th. He's made 10 places in 4 laps. Can Lewis Craig come back at him? We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully he can. Cam now on the back of Casper Klein. I'm so used to Casper Klein being in first. He's so all over the back of Kieran out in front in P1. Can the Alpine get back into the race lead? Not able to do so this time around. Jenga very late on the brakes, almost hit the back of the Alpine, but managed to get that Mercedes stopped. Lewis battling away with Casper though, and he forces the Red Bull onto the red and white curbing, and he's going as hard as he possibly can. He's not giving up that place without a fight. And just what we imagined Lewis Craig would do, he did. He doesn't have the pace to keep Casper behind, but he fought that as best he could with the battery in his advantage still. He might be able to have another go at this on Casper if he doesn't lose him too much. Cost Casper a bit of time, did Lewis Craig through the second sector, but he fought that with everything. He might not be as quick as Casper, but he was not giving that up. Jenga Boy, calm rules, calm now. They're all over the back of each other. Deck is just past Scottish Go. Into the top 10 goes the Ferrari. A race ban last week, so he's needing to find some good points tonight. A good points haul in Silverstone did Deck, and he's a quick driver, obviously runner-up in DBF2 last time out, and we'll have to wait and see. He's already passed Lewis Craig now, who's got no battery, and Lewis Craig is passed by Scottish Gold. They're having a wee freeway battle down the hill, are they? Lewis has had a moment, actually, because he's behind Jess. So Lewis has gone off somewhere, which is unfortunate. Lewis was having a good race, and he's lost a bit of time now in some positions as Cam K-Mam gets passed by Casper, and now Ross is up ahead. First to be third in the Drivers' Championship. Kamke, very quick driver, been very good over the last season, and then Ross gets passed now by Casper. And you would sort of expect him to be 5th to 8th in the championship. Third, he's been very consistent all season, and on for a top 8 at the moment as Ross gets passed by Casper, and that didn't look too difficult as well. Casper now, no one in his way to the Grand Prix win than the top drivers now, who haven't been able to get away as quickly as they would have liked, battling away themselves. And once Casper gets involved in this battle, he might not be able to pull away, because it's very difficult to pull away when the field is that close together as well. It will be tough. He's 1.4 behind the top 5 now. He's got chasing to do, he's got fuel saving to do, and he needs to save some battery because he's got less than everyone else in the top 5. Kieran, he knows how to win Grand Prix in Dive Bomb F1. He's got multiple wins. He's won at this circuit before. It was different regulations, but he knows how to get the job done. Not been the season he would have liked this season, but he knows how to do it, and he knows if he can just manage that gap, box when he likes. It's not a mandatory 2-stop. He can stop in 1 stop in this Grand Prix. We'll have to wait and see how long those medium compound tyres can go. Calm Rules now on Jenga Boy. This is for the podium places. Calm Rules up into 3rd place. Jenga Boy off track, and that means Bavesser will get past, and Jenga Boy loses 2 into 1. And now goes Bavesser on Calm Rules. This is to steal the podium away. Calm Rules and Bavesser, rivals all season long. Jenga Boy getting involved in this battle too, which he does dearly not want to be involved in. And he's not going to be involved coming down the hill. It's going to be Cadillac, Mercedes, and then Red Bull is well and truly in this fight as well. And it looks like Kaya and Jake battling away, and I'm not quite sure what Kaya's doing there. Moved left on the straight, and Kaya will have to give up the position on Jake there. He has to give up the place, Kaya, and he's not giving it up. And if he doesn't really yield here and give Jake that place, he doesn't really have a leg to stand on when Jake reports him. Needs to have had grid penalties applied for battling each other in previous races. And wasn't really sure if Kaya yielded the position or if Jake just overtook him. But yeah, that was kind of unfair for some part of the lap from Kaya. And he's behind Jake now, which is the right thing to do. And we've got Casper in the wall. He's off. Was there contact with Jenga Boy? Wasn't a mistake on his own. He's down into 9th place. We'll find out what happened to the Red Bull. Doesn't look like he's got any damage. Lewis Craig now starting to find his feet again. He is ahead of Acorn. Acorn might come back at him down the hill though if he can get a good boost. He's got a lot more battery, but Lewis Craig does have the overtake enabled, as he was the car that was within 1 second, and Deck was very deep and almost rear ends Lewis Craig. The Mercedes drivers are now starting to fall out of touch with Cam a little bit. Oh, Bavesser was almost in the wall. Sorry, Cam Rules was almost in the wall there. and that allows the Mercedes back on, but the top 5 are all within a second of each other, all have the overtake bar Keenan. Going to be a long Grand Prix if this is it. Casper has to redo all his hard work. He got up to the top 5 and it was all gone in an instant, and now we'll see what happens if he can get back up into position. Casper now on Scottish Goat, battling away, and Scottish Goat gets passed by Casper this time. Oh, and Cam Rules was very deep into the corner. That might allow Professor to get in on the action. Yes, it does. Who gets on the power better this time? It was Cam Rules again. Cam Rules has been on for podiums in every Grand Prix bar one this season for him in his DBF1 rookie season as Ross Kamke battling away. Ross and Kamke, a bit of a twitchy moment from Cam. It wasn't anything malicious, just lost the car, and that means Ross will get back up the inside of 6, but Cam will try to do the switcheroo, not able to do so, as you see Casper 2 seconds adrift of those guys up behind. Now back to the top 5 battle. Mercedes have to work together. They have 2 cars, and I know it's only round 5 of the season of 12, but we're at that point in the season now where the Mercs have to work together. This is not round 1 or 2 or 3 anymore where either can win the championship. Either can still win the championship, but they have to start thinking who can be prioritised more now in this sort of situation. Who is the quicker driver? Who can mount a challenge? Cam and Ross battling away again, and this is just allowing Casper Klein to close in. Can Cam Amno down the hill get ahead of the Williams driver? Ross has been very, very good this season. Got that podium in Silverstone in the opening night. Holds on to his position. We'll keep an eye on the top 5, and we'll keep an eye on the battle for 6th place. So Casper was really, really closing in. Just trying to see what happened. You can't really tell what's happened to Casper as we've got our first pit stop. That is Cam Rules, mediums, lap 11. That's when he gives up on those compound. Going off the dots on the mini-map, I could be wrong. Lewis Craig, 3-second time penalty. It looks like Casper's lost it in turn 1. Ross, 3-second time penalty. That helps Cam Rules. Cam Am, sorry. Oh, sorry, no, that is a stop and go. That's 10 seconds that the Audi pit crew cannot service that car for, as Casper and Ross battling away. Both cars ghosted, so maybe a bit of contact down the hill. Ross defending as Lewis and Acorn battling away as well. Looks like Acorn got ahead. Lewis Craig down the hill. Can he get back past? Acorn's turn to have the battery boost. Lewis Craig down the inside goes the McLaren on the Ferrari. This is for P9. Lewis Craig gets the job done. Can Acorn come back at the McLaren driver? He has a bit of boost to use. It will turn from the inside to the outside. Not able to do so. Casper ahead of Ross as well. Lewis Craig and Acorn clean battling. And there we go. Casper Klein into the pits. Using that pit lane. Would have been a 10-second time penalty if he never gets stopped. He does. So Casper stops before anyone in the top 5. Jenga Boy starting to lose touch. Might be the first driver of that top 5 battle to come into the pits in the next few moments. Jessica Ball starting to keep an eye on Lewis Craig as Acorn Scottish Goat pit as well. Yeah, we could be wrong about the Casper situation, and we didn't catch it on the stream. We just had the wee dots. It looks like he's lost it in turn 1. The timing don't imply that he hit Jenga Boy, but we could be wrong. We'll see later on. Casper has come out in this battle with Kaya and Jake. This is not what he needs for his Grand Prix. He gets past Kaya and gets past Jake as well fairly quickly, so that is critical for his Grand Prix. Oh, and Ross is just calm in the pits. What can the Alpine pit crew do? And Ross is on PC, so I'm going to have to quickly re-invite Ross if I can. Wait, Ross should have another invite, and Cam, service fairly quickly. This is it. There. Oh, sorry. This is Lewis Craig and Driscoll. Critical for Cam to get out ahead of Lewis Craig, and he does. That is massive for the Alpines Grand Prix, and any hope of winning is surely saved by that. He is out 8.5 seconds ahead of Casper Klein. He got out ahead of Lewis and Jessica Ball. Getting out ahead of Jess was so crucial. Getting out ahead of Lewis was critical as well. Ross has had another invite, but his car, he's back in. So he might have Cam coming up to him in a few moments. This is critical for Cam. He needs to get ahead, and he does. Massive. Oh, and Kieran's round. He's lost it on the final corner. Cam Rules leads the Austrian Grand Prix. Kieran, the race winner. We were giving him all the flowers for being the Season 7 race winner, telling him he knew how to do it. And he's lost it at the final corner. He's down into 4th place now. Lewis Craig in the pits. Is Ross in control of his car? Doesn't look like it, going by the cameras. Now on the back of Jenga Boy, this is it. They're going to come out behind Cam. Will the hards go that long? Kieran doesn't decide to go down the inside. Jenga Boy struggling in comparison to his teammate. I'm quite actually surprised he's not come in for a new set of rubber. Trying to see if those mediums are worn down. They will be worn, but how worn? He's usually one of the quickest drivers on the track, Jenga Boy. Maybe this is just one of the tracks where he's not able to keep Professor honest. Maybe he got damage under that VSC situation, and there goes Kieran into the pits, using all the pit lane that he possibly can. Yeah, Ross is now in control of his car, but he's lost so much time. It's incredible how much time he's lost, because he's now behind Casper, who's boxed, and he was battling Casper only moments ago. Oh, and Casper Klein gets a 3-second time penalty. Well, the race win just not happening for the driver. That is started 18th place, leading the championship. And Jess will not really fight them. Well, she used the battery, but not really fighting that to any sort of length. Casper has stopped. Cam has stopped as well. So the top 3 will come out behind Casper Klein. They have to overtake him, which is not easy to do, but around here overtaking is pretty easy. And they will have the tyre deficit. Maybe that is the plan. Maybe they know Cam is going to be the long shot. And they have the tyre deficit to try to get ahead, and that penalty will help them extend their stints. Kieran lost a bit of time in terms of the battle with Casper. He would have come out ahead of Casper barring that incident where he lost the car. So now a driver that probably wasn't going to be ahead of Cam anyway, as Jess comes into the pit lane, wasn't going to come out ahead of Cam because Cam had the undercut. Should have come out ahead of Casper though, and he's not done that. So he's got hard work ahead in this second stint, and he's 9 seconds adrift of Cam now. So unless there's a safety car, which would massively help the top 3, this looks like it's going to be New Zealand Cam's Grand Prix. As we watch the top 2 Cam Rules leading laps in DBF1 in his rookie season. Bavesser joined halfway through the season last season. This is full season as a rookie. Obviously very quick drivers. They're not actually rookies in the esports community, but they're rookies in terms of this is their first full proper go at DBF1, and they're both coming into the pit lane here. Everyone seems to be following that pit lane to perfection for the top 2. Who gets in quicker? Who gets service better? This is where the money are made for the pit crews. You'd imagine it would be the Cadillac gets out ahead. The Cadillac does just. Jenga Boy stayed out. Casper ahead of both, which was to be expected. Yeah, Calm has never won a Grand Prix in dive bomb sports. He's only got podiums and poles, which is absolutely incredible. Let me actually. When did Calm's first race happen? He was in season one, wasn't he? At some point. Yeah, he was. We'll figure out the days of how many days. We've done that before with like returns and his first podium and days between races and stuff. I think mine was like 4,000 days between, or 355 days between podiums or something crazy. It was 4,000 days between his races, I believe, or 2,400 days. That's incredible between days, between his last couple of races. He's never won in DBF1, and he's been driving in DBF1 since 2019. He also had the break between season 3 and season 7, sorry. It's Calm Rules is ahead of Casper now. Kieran, Kai on the back, Bevesser on the back. Well, Jenga Boy 4 seconds adrift of this battle, but he has the tyre deficit in his favour. Bevesser looking for a move on Kai. Casper, though, trying his best to defend, and the tyre deficit, it's not shouldn't really affect them now. He's got 3-lap older tyres. That shouldn't be really affecting the car at the moment. But Casper just not got the pace. Maybe a bit of head loss. A crash on his own, it seems. It might not have been. And then the penalty. A bit of frustration maybe in the Red Bull cockpit as Deck gets past Scottish Goat. Scottish Goat in his first race in the Haas. He started the season in the Alpine, and then he was... the Alpine released their two drivers, and the Haas picked up Scottish Goat, and Darky is kind of a reserve now after being dropped by Alpine. Not featured this season at all. As Novel Darky also won an Austrian Grand Prix back in season 5, and when we had the Pace Cup, and none of these guys out in the front were invited to the party. And then season 6 we removed it, and then Lewis, Jess, and Cole were all re-invited. It looks like Jake is battling Jessica Ball, but I think Jessica Ball's pit, and that means she's got fresher rubber. And Kieran is passed by the first of 2 Mercedes. It's Bevesser ahead, and now maybe Bevesser 5 seconds adrift of Calm. Calm Rules as well. Maybe going to go for his second win of the season. Scottish Goat now repaying the favour, and now Lewis Craig is on this battle as well, getting past. Oh, Acorn, they're banging wheels down the straight. You're meant to go in a straight line, ladies and gentlemen. Acorn goes so deep, he hits the Haas, and he is behind Lewis Craig. Now Lewis Craig might get a run on Scottish Goat because of that, and for a driver that was banned last week for his driving standards, that wasn't the cleanest of moves. It looked like he just maybe broke himself a wee bit in terms of the hit, but the banging wheels both were bad. Lewis had a grid penalty previously as well for killing Alexi and Saudi. So the drivers need to be careful. We don't want any stream bans again like we did in seasons gone by. Casper Klein doing a good job to stick on the back of Calm Rules at the moment. Lewis Craig ahead into turn 1. That might allow Scottish Goat to have a run on the McLaren, and it might allow the Ferrari to have a run on the Haas, because the Ferrari has got no battery coming up the hill, but he's side by side the Haas, and up into 8th place he goes. We're on board as the Haas tries to do the switchback, has more battery, gets the boost. Not really got the goal though off the line there to get ahead, and it's Lewis Craig 7th, Deck 8th, Scottish Goat 9th at the moment. So, Calm Rules taking seconds out of Calm, who's in the lead, but Calm might just be settling down here. Wait, is Calm stopped for the mediums? Yeah, Calm's 2-stopping. Jordan is retired in the pit lane. He wasn't really having much pace. I'm not sure what happened with James on lap 1. We'll have to rewatch later on and see what happened. But yeah, taking time out of Calm. Calm's 2-stopping. Because he's gone medium. He had to start on the mediums. He's gone on to the mediums. As Bevesser and Kieran battling away. Kieran goes deep, locks up, and that allows Bevesser to come back down the inside, who is also on the mediums and is 2-stopping. So different strategies out front. Can rules Casper, Kai and Jenga Boy. Jenga Boy must be on the hards, yeah. Can they go the one-stop? Jenga Boy definitely will be able to, I believe. His hards should go the distance. 5.8 adrift of that top 5 battle, but he's definitely one for the one stop. Calm Rules and Professor, Calm Rules and Kieran might be as well. Calm and Professor definitely 2-stop when they've got medium, and need to use another set of tyres that aren't the mediums. Casper could one stop, but it'd be a big push. He's been on those hards for a long time. 3 lap older than Kieran, and then 5 laps older than Calm Rules. We'll have to see if Casper can go that long. I think he'll struggle. They'll be gone. Jenga Boy will be in for some time gained at the end of the Grand Prix for drivers going long as well. And he'll obviously have to fend off the likes of Professor and Cam going deep. And yeah, Cam's got no pace. He's lost 4.5 seconds and picked up a 3-second time penalty. Cam Rules second place, possibly going on the one stop. He's 1.4 behind the race leader. And is that Professor coming into the pits again? Yes, he is. He's only been on those tires 5 laps. He's calling it a day. Oh, and he goes fell onto the grass and almost into the wall. Calm Rules is in prime position to win this Grand Prix. The two around him have to stop. We've got yellow flags in Sector 1. This could be a disaster for Professor. He's stopped again. No yellow. It looks like Acorn's got going again. Yeah, there's not going to be a safety car. Wow, that was lucky for the Mercedes driver. That could have been a disaster. Calm Rules, though, he's got so much more pace than Calm out in front. We were talking about him winning the race. Penalties ahead and behind of the Cadillac. Fresher tyres over the Red Bull. The Alpine has to stop again. The man that's got 2 podiums this season had a terrible result in the throwback week. He's been very confident coming into the Austrian Grand Prix. Has the practice paid off? Cam is boxing. Cam Rules is your net race leader. Oh, and I think, unfortunately, when Cam boxed, just the way the nature of the pit lane is, and you have to take the full pit lane, Casper had to go off circuit to avoid a crash. That's just sort of the annoying thing about that pit lane rule, where that can happen. But it was obvious. Cam indicated that he was coming in. He took the pit lane correctly. So there's no fault out there in the hands of the Alpine. He did exactly what he was meant to do. He indicated early as well that he was coming into the pits. Just an unfortunate incident. Calm Rules now. Got Casper Klein behind, which is a scary thought. Has the time penalty, but has much fresher rubber. 12 laps of hards for Casper. 7 laps for Calm Rules. Oh, we've got a safety car. And Cam's just boxed, and Professor has as well. Casper gets a free pit stop. Everyone's going to be peeling into the pits now. Calm Rules, we'll see. Does he get held up? This might have just saved Casper Klein's race. "12 laps to go in the Austrian Grand Prix. Mediums for the race leader. Mediums for Casper. Kieran on the mediums. Jenga Boy stops for mediums. Cam gets ahead of Jenga Boy. Does he get ahead of anyone else? No. Well, the good thing about that is the drivers that have just 2 stopped, like Professor, it's going to close them up, and it basically means their pit stop's null. The only unfortunate thing for Professor and Cam is that they're on the hards compared to everyone else being on the mediums now. So the race calms down a wee bit behind Bert Mylander and his Mercedes F1 safety car. Calm Rules leads the Grand Prix And that is on merit. He has done all the hard work in practice this week. He's done all the hard work in this Grand Prix to be leading in no penalties. Casper Klein, 18th on the grid, has wangled his way up to second, but has a time penalty, but has fresh mediums. This is all go for Casper Klein now. If he can get 3 seconds ahead, he'll win the Grand Prix. Jordan, we wish you the best. We hope you're feeling better soon. We know how difficult things are, and we just hope that you're all right, Jordan. And take as much time as you need, and you know Dive Bomb Sports is always here. Long-time servant of the league, ERT Jordan, and we hope he's all right. And we wish him all the best. So lap 26 of 36 under the safety car conditions at the moment. Cam Rules leads the Grand Prix on merit. Casper, after starting 18th on the grid, somehow in second. Kieran leading the Grand Prix, lost the back end, trying to fight his way for 2 Austrian Grand Prix wins in a row. Mercedes as well, Bavester and Jenga Boy on course for a good finish, but wanting to be higher than 5th and 6th place. Don't count out Kamke, who's lost his penalty now. He served that, and the safety car is welcome for him. The only thing I hope doesn't happen is what happened in Saudi, where we had the safety car. We had about a lap and a half, and then there was another safety car. We only had 1 lap of racing at the end. It was fantastic to watch, and it was a great ending, and it led to the closest winning margin in Dive Bomb Sports history. But my voice alone cannot handle all that once more. Safety car in this lap, so Acorn, Jake and Daniel will have to catch up as best they can. Cam Rules becomes the safety car. Once he goes, he cannot stop, and no one else behind. When Cam goes, everyone must remain within 10 car lengths of each other. So when Cam goes, that means the rest of the field have to go as well. This is it. When it comes, it will be 28 of 36. 9 laps for another DBF1 race winner, or will someone add to their already scored tally? Cam Rules is away. We have got 9 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix to go. This is going to be fantastic stuff. And Kieran is already under pressure from Cam, who's up onto the podium. He's got him sleeping off the beginning there, and with the penalty, but he's lost the back end. And Kieran goes back up ahead. And now, critical moments in this Grand Prix. If you want to have that 3-second penalty advantage, Casper cannot overtake you for as long as absolutely possible. Cam and Kieran battling away for 3rd place. Bavesser and Jengaboy watching in the background, going to try pounce. Are the 2 former DBF1 race winners now? Down the hill we go. It's as you were on the restart. Cam and Scottish Goat battling away. Camke back out on top. Evil Dragon and Jessica Ball battling away. The Aston Martin showing his worth this evening, and Jess has to yield the place. Fantastic driving from Evil Dragon. Absolutely astonishing overtake round the outside. Jess just had to yield. She didn't have an answer. She's coming back though. Scottish Gold now down the inside and Cam around the outside. As Kieran's now disconnected from the session. What is going on here? We'll have a quick look at the battle out front and try and get Kieran back in the session in a moment. But this for the race lead at the moment. Not able to make the move. Keenan got back in his car. Nope. Casper coming down the hill, 29 of 36. This is so critical for Cam Rules. He needs to keep Casper behind as long as he possibly can. And we'll try our absolute best to get Kieran quickly back in the session before we get to the overtaking spots. And it's... What is his name? What is his name? Before we get the rematch, round number 2. We've had round 1. Cam Rules come out on top. He's back in. But he's all the way down in 14th place for 1 points paying position. And Casper is thinking about all 25 points in this Grand Prix. Started 18th place as well. And he's going to lead after starting 18th. And I don't think the league really has an answer for this. We did the grid, we did the time penalty, we did the qualifying penalties. Jenga Boy is dropping down the field like a fly and he spun massively. Not sure what happened there, but he just went down the field like a sack of potatoes. Just missing his good friend Kieran and wanted to join him down in 13th place. That helps Ross and then Lewis Craig and Scottish Goat all on for good points at the moment. Cam Rules, 4 tenths, 3 tenths of a second. This is critical. Save that battery. He's got more than Casper. Use the battery in the places that you need to. Stick with that Red Bull. Do not let him win the Grand Prix. You've worked so hard and look at him. He's closing up. It was Casper. Sets the fastest lap. But Cam, he's keeping him honest, and all he needs to do is not drop 3 seconds on these final 6 laps. Casper has another time penalty. That's 6 seconds worth of penalties. And now Cam Rules surely going to battle for the overtake here. Cam Rules just needs to avoid any time penalties now, and surely this one will be in the bag for him. Evil Dragon and Acorn battling away. Evil Dragon just been overtaken by the Ferrari, trying to go down his head. He forces the Ferrari off, and then Kieran gets involved as well and is ahead of both. The Aston and Ferrari have had a few feisty battles this season, and we don't want any damage coming off these two. Oh, Deck's gone deep. He's been slung. He's been sold a dream. And it was a pipe bomb because Evil Dragon has done the switcheroo and is up the inside again. Fantastic from Evil Dragon there. Dangled a wee bit of cheese in front of the mouse and the mouse fell for the trap. But here comes Acorn back down the inside and gets ahead. Fantastic driving from the pair of them. As Evil Dragon goes deep and that means Jenga Boy gets ahead. Out in front, the gap's the same. The laps tick down, 5 laps of Grand Prix racing to go here in the Austrian hills. On course for his first DBF1 win, but we know what can happen in this league. We know the crazy endings we've had in the past. As Cam now, 3rd place in the Drivers' Championship, trying to hang on to that at the moment. As he stays ahead of Scottish Goat and is 3 seconds adrift of Lewis Craig. Lewis Craig in a race on his own in P6, probably his best result of the season actually, if he can hold on to it. Lewis, one of those drivers that could mount a challenge to Jenga Boy and Bavesser and Cam Rules, but doesn't really play the game as much as he used to and not enjoying the game as much as he used to. Being loyal to Difom and his older brother though, and coming each and every week, so we thank him for that. Just not enjoying it like he used to. More of a Gran Turismo player now, and he's found some good form in the TGP series. He's won a reverse race, and even though he cheated in the feature to get pole, but he still won a Grand Prix. Wasn't able to do it in TGP1 though. Jessica Ball, Scottish Gold, battling away at turn 1, and that might allow Kieran, who's hit Jessica Ball. Yeah, he's hit Jessica Ball. It was an accident, he didn't mean to. He's got no front wing, he's got no right hand side of his wing, and that allows Jenga down the inside. Jessica Ball all the way down the field, and oh, is that another safety car? Jessica's got no wing, it wasn't really her fault. Nothing she could do, and if there is a safety car, this is absolutely ruined Casper's Grand Prix. Yeah, we do. I shouldn't have mentioned Jeddah, because now the safety car is going to come out, and we're going to have about 1 or 2 laps of Grand Prix driving at the end of this race. I shouldn't have mentioned Jeddah. Casper Klein leads the way on lap 33. 6 seconds worth of penalties. Cam, Ross, Lewis 3 seconds. Evo Dragon 9. Dark Shadow 3. Is anyone going to come into the pits? Oh, Lewis has cut the corner and got 10 seconds worth of penalties, but that will, if Lewis doesn't get another warning and records his race director, he probably gets that removed in the steward's room. So Casper leads, don't know how, I don't have an answer anymore. We did the penalty, starting him at the back of the field, well it's not really a penalty, but we did the thing at the back of the field to see if it was fair. He's still in the lead. He's got penalties, and penalties obviously do mean something, but I've got a feeling the stewards were already talking about no setup, and that might be coming into play, where he has to record that he leaves the track with a base setup. Safety car coming in this lap, which is absolutely ridiculous, why it even came out in the first place. But Casper becomes a safety car, same rules apply as last time. We'll have to wait and see what happens this time around. Needs to find 6 seconds as he goes a lot earlier than Cam Rules did previously, trying to find a gap where he can work that 6 seconds and win his 4th of 5 races this season. He won 4 in a row, lost his 5th, won his 6th. It's 5 wins, 6 Grand Prix. It's sitting crazy, like 15 and 24 or something like that, all time. Jenga Boy in 9th didn't stop. Kai in 11th, he did stop. I think everyone else behind stopped as well. Lewis Craig up into the top 5 ahead of Ross. Lewis Craig on for his first top 5 of the season. That would be some fantastic result and news. And we've got another yellow flag. I think that's for the driver behind. Cam though, he is well and truly in for a result of 4th place. If he can stay within those time penalties, we are on the penultimate lap of the Austrian Grand Prix. There'll be 1 tour to go once we begin and cross the start-finish line the next time round. How the season is flying by in Dive Bomb Sports. How this man has dominated the season in spectacular fashion. No one's had an answer for him all season long, but Cam Rules tonight seems to have an answer at the time being. Ross up ahead of Lewis Craig again. They're battling away. They're almost 2 seconds ahead behind Cam. Lewis Craig now going to try and get ahead of Ross. He knows he's going to lose places with his penalty, so needs to finish ahead of drivers that have the penalties. Cam, not even needing the penalties, gets ahead of both. That is fantastic driving, but Ross gets back ahead now, and he is splitting Ross and Lewis, which does not help him in terms of getting ahead of Ross. Lewis Craig going to be having to settle for 7th, possibly 8th place here as Janeway doesn't have a penalty. Keenan goes deep down the inside, and Scottish Goat does well to avoid that, and he using the smart decision there of his 64 Grand Prix to stay ahead. Jenga Boy ahead of Lewis Craig, who's behind Keenan and Scottish Goat. Lewis Craig, bit of a moment, bit of a tongue slapper, needs to try and get ahead of Scottish Goat. Professor might be close to running out of fuel here. Round the final corner. On the road, Casper Klein wins the Grand Prix, but Calm Rules for the first time in DBF1 history wins a Grand Prix. Bevesser comes home in second place. Calm K-Mam gets on the podium somehow after all that. Calm in P4 with his time penalty. Jenga Boy 5th. Casper Klein in 6th place. Scottish Goat 8th. Kieran in 8th. Oh, this is confusing. Daniel P. at 9th. Ross 10th. Dark Shadow 11th. Jake 12th. Jessica Ball 13th. Evil Dragon 14th. Lewis isn't 15th, by the way. He's higher up, but he's just left the session in Rage, which has picked up the standings. Again, why people do that, as Dex does donuts. This man here, though, Calm Rules, wins the Austrian Grand Prix. He was so confident to me beforehand, and he's done the job. He's been fantastic. And we finally have a new race winner in DBF1. Professor in Saudi was a new winner. Another new winner here tonight with Calm Rules. 118 DBF1 race winners, and Calm Rules' name is now being engraved into the Excel folder as the 36th. What a Grand Prix that was. The season's been fantastic. Acorn's been disqualified from the session for not crossing the line. Well, next week it is Madrid. The first time in DBF1 history we will go there. Cannot wait to see how it goes. And for the first time in TBF1 history, the new boys, Cadillac, are on the top step of the podium. And that will be etched into the team history as well. Absolutely fantastic Grand Prix. Congratulations to Calm Rules. I know that's going to mean so much to him. We've already ran through your order. I'm not sure where Lewis has finished after retiring or leaving the session. But that has been DBF1. Make sure you come back next week for the Madrid Grand Prix. It's the first time we're ever going to have the Madrid Grand Prix. It's the first time we've had a new track. I can't remember the last time we had a new track involved in, I think it was season 3, Miami, Jeddah would have been all the way back then. But that has been it. It's been Calm Rules race winner Bevesser on the podium along with Calm K-Man. What an ending to the Grand Prix. I've been Jack Craig. Make sure you're back next Wednesday at 7:30, because it will be a new Grand Prix. It will be the Madrid Grand Prix, and you do not want to miss that.